Welcome back, Royal Family. But if this is your first time, my name is Louis. This is the daily article. This is episode 16. Now I'm gonna try to keep these videos shorter for you guys, so you guys just get the information right in, right out, and then I can make more of these videos because I'm not spending so much time on the editing factor of it and all that. So without any further ado, let's get right into this news I have for you guys today. So today the market's sitting at 3.3 trillion total crypto market. Then we have the BTC at 108. From our last video, episode 15, it did not break the all-time high. We said it might on Friday over the weekend, but nothing happened. Okay, weekends are a little slow on news, sometimes major things happening, but then again, you always got to keep your ear to the streets, like we said before. Now I'm not gonna keep beating that dead horse. Let's move on. So gold is sitting at 3.3. I don't really count these last because these always move quickly. Ethereum did not hit that 2600 mark. XRP is sitting at 231. We had a little bit of a rally over the weekend, but looks like we're cooling off, maybe consolidating. I don't know what's happening, but something's happening. Okay, remember, if you guys enjoy the content, you can also head over to my X at the King Louis. I also post the articles down below and other stuff. So and we're gonna cover something later that I posted just to get some information out there, because I know some of you guys like some of the other content that I provided with you know, the intellectual aspect of life and stuff like that, the esoteric and gematria. So I will get back into that, and I maybe might start covering some of my threads that I do on X at the end of my videos. So if you guys like that, you guys can fast forward to the end of the video. Okay, moving on. So the first article I have for you guys today is mysterious Bitcoin whale moves 8 billion in largest daily transfer of old BTC history. Old BTC in history. So basically this is one of the oldest wallets that did not have no type of activity. So this is from the 4th. Okay, it's a little late on news, but we're going to cover something that refers to this that came out this morning and over the weekend. All right, so sit tight. So basically a Bitcoin whale on Friday moved more than 8 billion in BTC, and the digital coin had not moved in 14 years. Okay, so that's something to pay attention to. A lot of people speculate that's a good thing, it's a bad thing. We do not know. This is someone's private wallet. We don't know what happened in this person's personal life or whatever it may be. Okay, speculation. All right, moving on, but it's going to be related to this, the next article. Moving on. So like I said previously, the sudden 8 was this billion Bitcoin wallet move potentially result of a hack. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You have to make sure you go to different channels and different news outlets, because some of them lean one way, some of them are central, then they lean the other way. So it's good to make sure you get your information from multiple sources. And again, do not take anything I say in my videos as financial advice. This is for information and entertainment purposes only. And y'all know I have to say that because these algorithms and what they do. Anyways, this information is important. That's why I'm here to present it to you guys. Always do your own research. Okay, moving along. So basically, I guess a report came out basically saying that this could have been a hack, because someone prior to moving this big amount of Bitcoin out of this wallet, there was actually a transaction that happened prior to this big movement. So Gorgies notes that one of the wallets appears to have made a test transaction of BTC Cash from the network just hours before the big move happened, suggests that whoever was responsible for the transfer was trying to go unnoticed. So that's the main thing here. They were trying to go unnoticed. So it's one of those things where it could be the owner of the wallet, or it could be someone who's trying to do some nefarious shady stuff with this. So again, make sure you guys do your research. Okay, moving on. And also hold on before we move on, don't keep your shit in these platforms, excuse my language. Okay, always take your stuff off these networks. Okay, if you're trading or doing something not financial advice, do not keep them on these open channels. Take them offline. Okay, not your keys, not your crypto. All right, I don't know how much we have to drill into people, like especially with the California law now. If your crypto is inside of an exchange for more than 3 years without any activity, California can take it. That's a whole nother side note, but we've covered that before. So go into the past and look into some of our videos. All right, moving on. Satoshi Nakamoto held enormous amount of XRP, says David Schwartz. So basically, you guys can go through this article. I'm not going to read it all, but did Satoshi hold XRP? A resurfaced 2017 doc quotes Ripple CTO claiming Bitcoin creator may have held enormous amounts of XRP. XRP and Satoshi theory grows. So basically, they talk about the development and where it came from and the people who worked on not just Bitcoin, but also XRP. There was some hands that worked on Bitcoin that now work on XRP. Look, I'm not a maxi for XRP, okay? I just follow the information. I don't come up with this information. I make my own conclusions and I go from there. But then again, we have to understand facts always change, okay? And we've seen it through history. All right, especially in the medical industry, they think one thing works and then the fact changes that it doesn't work. So that's like everything in life. We think we know the way, but we're far off the mark, okay? Moving on. Basically, you guys can go down here and see this. Remember, these articles will be posted on my page at the King Louis, so you guys can go read about it and find more information on it if you care about these things. So basically, as a question and answer, I'm not gonna go through it. You guys can see it here and read it on your own, okay? But basically, it says how many XRP does Satoshi hold? So we don't know who the Satoshi figure is. It could be NSA, it could be CIA, it could be whoever, but there is a claim that they hold a large amount of XRP. Now that wallet and stuff like that, we haven't been able to find that yet. So once that does, I'm sure someone in the community will bring it up. Okay, moving on to the next article. All right, BBVA launches Bitcoin and Ethereum trading for retail customers in Spain. Okay, this is very important. This is a little bit on the slower side for those, you know, barely getting into this. And this is important. This is also for those people who've been holding for a long time, who've been part of this market. What we have to understand about, in my opinion, what's happening with these new markets is they have to make sure the majority of the global, you know, infrastructure is able to access these networks. Okay, like America, we have great technology. Russia, great technology. Japan, you can name all the first world countries, and basically they're working in crypto. They've been working in crypto for a while now. Spain, I'm not going to say is a first world, second world, third world country. It is what it is. My point with this is a lot of the times these countries get comfortable in the way they do business. Okay, that's just how it is. If it works, they're not going to fix it. Okay, but what's happening now with the .com boom, with the housing market bubble, with how financial like infrastructure is right now, it doesn't work, especially as we move faster, as things need to get done, as these major events happen. We need money to be sent around the world quickly. We need these transactions that happen instantaneously. So my point with this is a lot of these people, a lot of these countries are not up to par, and we cannot leave them behind moving into this digital age. So we're gonna cover a little bit of that conspiracy in a bit, but it's one of those things where all the rest of the world has to be on point with what's happening for the majority. You know what I mean? We can't leave them in the past. But basically, this is great. So Spanish banking giant BBVA now offers Bitcoin and Ethereum trading and customer service directly through a mobile app for retail customers in Spain. So you might not have a bank, but you have a mobile phone, right? And this happens in a lot of these countries. They don't have access to a bank, but they have access to a phone. With digital currency, it's going to make it easier for them to be part of the banking community. Okay, and that's what we have to pay attention to. Let's not rush it. Keep investing, keep accumulating, but this stuff is going to take time. Okay, so this is from July 4th, but it goes hand in hand to what we just covered. So Ethereum DeFi project Ondo aims to take on Robinhood with the jump in tokenized stocks. So this is a key factor. See, what we have to see here is tokenized stocks. If you don't know what that means, go ahead and do a quick Google search. But basically, like, we're moving into this realm of tokenized assets. You know, it's one of those things where you have to be aware of this. Like, we're getting rid of the old system little by little. But basically, Ondo Finance has acquired Oasis Pro, according to the decentralized finance platform statement on Friday. The acquisition will allow Ondo to take advantage of the Oasis Pro brokering dealer alternative trading system and transfer giant licenses from the U.S. federal regulators. So this is great. This is great. We're getting rid of the division of channels and all these borders, and that's what I love about blockchain and crypto. It's damn near universal all over the world. You don't even need to speak the language to make a transfer in these type of funds and assets now. You don't even have to be that literate with finances. You know what I mean? There's going to be, I don't know. There's idiots that have made millions from investing in meme coins and stuff like that, but we're not going to get into that. So basically, this is great. When you click on, let me see. Let me get it for you guys here. But let me see. The website was here. I have it up already, but I just wanted you guys to know the website. So basically, the website tied to this is RWAXYZ. Okay, so these are like Web3 type of pages and stuff like that. They're a little bit different. I don't know the difference really between Web3 and Web2. I kind of get it, but there's more into it than I can explain. But basically, this is where you go. This is the website to check it out. RWA basically means real world assets, if you don't know. So if you go here, you can see that over time, this chart has changed. Now, this is all blockchain. You can look at the stable coins market. You can look at US treasuries and what they're working with and what they hold. You get me? This is basically for you to pay attention. You know, like I said, anyone has access to this information, which is beautiful. So check this out. Remember, rwa.xyz. My only point here is when we go to this market overall, take some time to load. I think it takes time to load because it's like doing real like updated analysis type stuff. But anyways, we can see it's growing. Okay, so we're early. Look, there's only 24.83 billion. So we're early. All right. Again, like I said earlier, you make sure you look at multiple things. Okay, don't just read one article. Don't just listen to one YouTuber or one person. You always check your sources, and you also check that you checked your sources. Check. Anyways, JP Morgan warns stablecoin growth is slowing and predicts 500 billion cap by 2028. I don't know what's up with some of these players. Like some, you know, like I try not to be biased, but come on, JP Morgan, really? Why would you even put something out here like this? Okay, I'm not even gonna pay too much attention to this because I'm gonna move ahead and show you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna tie this article into the next article. Let's go right into it. But basically, this says stablecoin regulators could fuel a 15 to 20 trillion crypto industry, says Trump. Okay, if we're moving into 15 to 20 trillion crypto industry, I'm pretty sure that the stablecoin market is going to be more than 500 billion. Okay, right now it's sitting at what, 230 billion or something like that. I believe I read that down here. Okay, yeah, currently 250 right now. So it's one of those things where it's like I said, look at multiple sources. Don't even like JP Morgan, come on now. All right, but what's also crazy about this is, you know, the big beautiful bill. If you guys know anything about that, it passed, and you can look at the Genius Act as well. But all this is going to be tied into the crypto market. Okay, and I really think this is way lower than what it can potentially be. I've heard certain numbers, like the whole total global infrastructure of the markets in the world is like more than 1,000 trillion, whatever number that is. I'm gonna have to get that number down. They said 1,000 trillion, but that's putting everything on real world assets, like we just covered. So housing, your car, everything, even people's bonds. When we talk about that SSI and scarecrow shit, but we're not gonna get into that. That's not what this is about. All right. Growing number of users are taking LSD with ChatGPT. Okay. We have to understand we're moving into a whole different world. Okay, when we start talking about like people wearing glasses with AI and you're taking LSD, imagine the trips you're going to have. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm not going to judge. My point being with this is it's going to radically change some people's neurons and how they perceive the world. But then on top of that, the things that are created from some of these people. You know, like sometimes some of the craziest creations we get are from the craziest people. Like who would want to tie a damn key to a kite and fly it into the sky? You know what I mean? But it is one of those things where there's something up there. I need to harvest that. You know, so with more of these trips, and it also can go in the wrong way, where some things that are created are just detrimental to communities. You know, so we have to be aware. My point with all of this is not about fear mongering. It's just understanding the realm and direction we're going. When we talk about the word, okay, the Bible, I don't care if you're religious or not. These are all texts. It doesn't matter if you're Muslim, Jewish, Christian. I do not care. But a lot of us look at the word when it talks about man being merged with machine or flesh being merged with metal. This is the age we're moving into. I'm not a prophet. I don't care about none of that. But we can see what's happening with Neuralink. We can see what's happening with some of these people getting these prosthetics and these robots. Pretty soon, these are going to be interlinked. We see it in our TV shows. We see the programming in all of our movies. So it's going to happen. Maybe not in our generation, but future generations are going to be there. So if you have kids, it's good to be aware of this. Teach them good morals. Make sure they're grounded, and they live in a different world than we grew up in. Okay, all we can do is maybe invest some of our money and protect them from what's happening, or maybe guide them in the right direction. But that's neither here nor there. My point with this is taking LSD and ketamine and DMT and mushrooms with AI is going to make you trip balls. Okay, it's just yeah, pretty wild. All right, let's move on. Ripple's secret ties to U.S. intelligence. Okay, hidden links revealed. All right, and you know, like we already knew about David Schwartz. If you guys been in this community, okay, I'm not gonna break all this down, but it is pretty interesting. Okay, the name Ripple is more than a song. It comes from the Grateful Dead, you guys. Okay, all right. In 2005, the same year, the U.S. intelligence network INSA was recognized. 3 interesting domains appeared under the same address, IP address: Ripplecom, RipplePay, and OpenCoin. OpenCoin later became Ripple Labs, which we know today. So do your research, check this out, okay? Throw this in the chat GPT like I showed you in the last episode and see what this says. But also cross-reference it with other things, okay? A lot of people in the crypto community and XRP army know about this, and if you don't, then I don't know what you've been paying attention to. But they're fun, quirky games. This kind of reminds me of Ready Player One, when the dude hid the treasure inside of the world. You know what I mean? That's exactly what this is. We live in a real world. Some people will say simulation, but these things are hidden. And if you're able to find them and break down the meaning, it's kind of like the Riddler, you know? The Riddler is probably one of my favorite Batman characters because it's just all fun and games to him. Like money and all this shit, it's all a game. It's all theater, you know? So that's what these people understand, and they know. None of it's real. The only thing that's real is yourself, your family, and surviving. Money's only important because we say it's important, you know? It reminds me of toilet paper, to be honest, but I'm not going to go there. All right, moving on. Ripple versus SEC. So Bill Morgan rejects staged lawsuit. Some more conspiracy for you guys. I really think with what happened with XRP and the whole infrastructure of things is, like I said earlier, the world is not ready. We're still not ready. Okay? Like the world is not ready. America might be ready. China might be ready. Russia might be ready. Some of these other countries that know about this, you know, Singapore might be ready. The ones on the lists might be ready. These big banks that are working with Ripple might be ready. But the world is not ready. It's not ready to flip the switch. The plumbing isn't finished yet. So there is theory out there that this staged lawsuit, this XRP one, was just something to slow it down. Okay? Slow it down. You know, we don't have regulation yet. We're moving fast. This is great technology. Like the technocrats are moving faster than the politicians and the laws, and that's a problem in a way. There has to be, you know, until we can get AI into the infrastructure of law and stuff, because we're gonna need that. They're using AI to build these models, to build these new infrastructures and financial markets. AI is going to have to be implemented into our government in order for it to start writing the correct bills. That's just point blank period. And a lot of people don't like that. I personally don't like that. But to keep up with the ever expanding, growing market of technology, that technology is going to have to be implemented into the laws and systems. We got people who are 60, 80, sitting in office that know nothing about technology, can't even use a cell phone. And was it Bill Clinton that wasn't even able to buy his own socks? I think it was him. But that's exactly what we're dealing with. And until we can get some of this technology into our government and branches of infrastructure in that way, then that's when we're ready. That's when the rest of the world is ready as well. But there is speculation out there that it was a staged lawsuit. Okay. All right. So really quick, I want you guys to check out Trend Journal. Great. I'm not affiliate. I don't get nothing from promoting this, but they are great when it comes to information. Okay. I can't open it for you guys because I have a subscription. I don't want them to take mine. But basically, if you guys can see here, like, they don't play that biased stuff. Okay. They have great information. They have articles you can read even if you're not subscribed. So check them out. They've been forecasting worldwide news for some years, and they have a lot of people who support them. And if you know anything about the supporters of this, then you know that information is key. It's kind of like reading the newspaper, but a little different. Okay. Also, let's go back to this really quick because I wanted to cover it, but I might make another video for that. I'll make another video for it. But basically, if you want to go over and check it out before I do make the video, it is at the King Louis on X. And basically, if you scroll down, I wanted to cover the major things that happened during the year of the snake. So I'll make another video for that for you guys. Maybe tomorrow, maybe this week. But basically, every year of the snake, something major happened. Okay. And I'll go through the details with you guys. But we are in the year of the snake now. So, just be safe, you guys, and make sure you take care of yourself, your family, and all that. Okay. My name is Louis.